To you live from the cabin. We have Michelle Allen. What do you think, Michelle Allen? Will the cabin win or the deep freeze win?
Oh, I really hope the cabin wins, but it's still up for debate. We're making progress.
Welcome, Cozy Nest friends. Welcome to another
adventure.
Yeah, it definitely is an adventure today. We're going to get ready for the winter. You guys saw us insulate the pipes. About these little computer fans, I'm hoping they're enough to push air into the different spaces that we've got behind our bathtub, you know, and behind the walls in the laundry room, so it's taking heat out of the room and make sure there's heat in the walls, because when this was built it wasn't insulated. So that's our plan for today. We've got that, we've got some extension cords, and we've got something to wrap our pipes that go underneath our sink. Since it doesn't really get good airflow at all down there, we just figured we'd wrap it. Unlike we showed you last time, I've got those accents everywhere. This is all Amazon stuff. The links will be in the description below. We'll review, let you know how it actually works out, and we'll go from there. What's the weather supposed to be today?
It was looking pretty cloudy outside.
Yeah, we're tracking with the Weather Underground app. Great little app. We've got a neighbor actually who's got a station. Station up on his roof. Uh-oh. It looks like we're getting some serious snow. Did the snowblower parts come?
They did.
All right, well, okay, this was the plan. We're gonna go out and just, hopefully it's a 10-minute fix on the snowblower. Just realized if we go down to birthday celebrations down in Salt Lake and we come back and there is a foot of snow, we're gonna need these bad boys on to get in, regardless if the pipes freeze. Right now, what, it's like 60 in the house still, so I think we're still doing okay.
Yeah, it's pretty warm inside.
All right, so what we had happen on this is these blades cracked. Uh-oh, that's not looking like the right unit. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to somehow get these off. They're still stuck on there. Anyways, that is the same size, same part. So somehow we gotta get this off, get this in its place. I don't know. Yeah, these spindles have actually busted all the way out. So yeah, good times. I thought it'd be a 5-minute job. Like normal, it's gonna take me a few minutes more, so we might need 2 hands on this one. Okay, so I did, number 1 didn't work, so we went to, I did number 2, we pulled this pulley off, or this wheel off, but we're at the cabin, so we had to use a spark plug puller. Not quite the right thing for the job, but got it done. So now let's see, now we can pull this belt off. We need to remember this has tread on it, hun, so it's gotta go this way. So that should slide off. This looks like it's gotta go this way on. Then it just... Okay, so now the question is, because of the way it worked, are we better off to put that little pulley on and then the big wheel, or what do you think? So one might ask themselves, how many times has Roscoe done this? Officially none right now. So as soon as this is done, then it'll be once. Let's just go back the way we came off. Let's go with that big wheel next.
Okay.
So I had to run in and use the restroom real quick. Michelle, got it all done.
No, I didn't.
Look, you got all the wheels back on.
No.
You forgot the tensioner wheel, hun. Oh, you're yeah. Cool. How tight was that before?
How tight was it before?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You're the one that took it off. But I don't know how we're going to get this back on. Might need to have one of us pull that so we can get this in.
Yes. Michelle doesn't want to wait for me. She's got it. I'm just going to watch. She doesn't need a husband. Yeah. Okay, so what did we learn, hun?
Well, we learned we had to loosen those top wheels
to drop that driver bar down, and then we only had to loosen 2 bolts on this, so we're going to see if we can get... The other side took us about 25 minutes. So far, we're about 5 minutes into this. All right, so I think the snowblower's running. We had to dip it up here in the gravel, so the first thing I'm going to do is make sure there's nothing going to go into the impeller and shoot out rocks. Yeah, so we figured out the drivetrain. We're about ready to find out if we're ready for it to snow tonight. Looks pretty dark up there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So we choke it, prime it, turn that to run, pull the handle. So it looks like it runs, but this is what I'm worried about, love. Our brand new driveway got all chewed up. Well, they both run at the same speed. Better be icy, I guess, before we do it, huh? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we might have one more project to do before we get to, but we've already shown you how we're gonna do this. We got to put the snow plow on this hopefully less likely to tear up our new driveway. Bah. We decided that the snow blower might or might not work just because of the deepness of the track. Real quick on the four-wheeler, there's always a different project. Now we have 2 ways to take care of the driveway. Hopefully it works. Now, let's go to our real project that we were planning on doing today. Here's what Michelle and I were just talking about, the airflow of this fan. Remember us cutting out this box was so we could put a fan here, but now I'm trying to decide, do I need to be out here to capture that heat coming off of this so that it's capturing it and pushing it in, and that's what I think we're gonna try and do. We need a plug. Oh, good, we got a plug right here.
Are we okay to have that fan that close to the heater?
And yeah, these are built for, oh, I see what you're saying. Because you're worried about it burning. What did it?
Correct, because the things that we read was to keep things 6 to 12 inches away from the heater.
Okay, I'm glad you reminded me of that.
And that's why we ended up not doing the wood frame around your hole.
Excuse me? My hole? What about your?
The hole that you made for the board.
In order to do that, then we're building something like this. Which way does it suck? Yeah, so we're trying to blow air from here into that. And Michelle just mentioned we probably don't want it that close to the heater, right? We're afraid of a fire. We're 6 inches, about like that. I'm going to explain to everybody our theory here.
The theory is the heat will come from the baseboard heater, and then we'll be able, and then it should suck up that heat and blow it into the hole and help protect the pipes.
I think it needs to go closer, but we put it on a flexible arm. They're pretty hard to find, these flexible arms. One of the hardest things for Roscoe to do is to stand here and watch. How about we flex that arm down just a little bit and put it a little bit closer. I'd maybe change my angle just a hair.
What does that mean?
I'd angle it towards where it's blowing in the hole a little bit better. Right now it's flat, yep. Now turn on the heat, let's see what it does.
Turn on the heat?
Turn on, yeah, you can turn them both on. Can you feel the air or no?
Yeah, you can feel the air.
Is it on high? Is that baseboard heater heating up at all? Could you feel it or no?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. How close are you to the baseboard heater now with your tape measure?
3.5 inches.
What is faith?
Believing in something we can't see.
Yeah, so tell us what you got going on here.
So we're trying to feed this cord through to the utility room outside, through this hole, which is dark. We can't see. There is pipes in between here, so we got to be careful we don't hit the pipes. But there again, we can't see. So we've hooked it to this marker, and hopefully we can get it through and we'll be able to pull it out with no problem.
This is the Allen's version of pulling wire. We'll see how that works out. I don't know that all Allens want to claim this, but this is coziness way. All right, honey, go ahead.
Okay.
And all I'm looking for
Hold
is
on.
to see if something comes through. I don't know that it's long enough. Is that a mouse? Are you? And we're doing all this because these pipes back here. Oh, holy cow, you guys. Look what I just found. Okay, don't move.
That's good because I don't have much
There
more
we go.
pull.
Look what I just got a hold of. All right. Holy cow. Who would have thought? Now I don't know how to get her zip tie contraption off. I think I've got enough cord. We're going to mount this all permanent, ladies and gentlemen. This is just test fit and seeing how it all is going to work and if it is going to work. How's our test coming down here? Ta-da! I don't know. You guys tell me, is this a good idea? This is dreamt up just to try and keep heat behind the walls. I don't know. Maybe we're done. I was outside working. I didn't realize Michelle's been sitting here holding this fan the whole time. How's that?
It's so fun.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I got an idea for that one.
Okay,
I'm going to
good.
build just a little shelf for it.
It fits there perfect though.
Yeah, that's a great one. Actually, I might just put a little grabber screw through it then and not even worry about it.
The grabber screws through where?
Through one of the foot pads, maybe. Just take out the foot pad and put it through, or no? You don't like that idea?
Oh yeah, I guess you can. And this is how Roscoe measures.
I just kind of jam the knife into the wall so I make sure I know where I want to start. And then I know I want to go just about up to here and about over to here. Oops, I need a top line too. This is why I'm not a finished carpenter. This amongst other reasons. It's just one of them. One thing I want to be really careful of, Michelle, is when I'm doing this is that I don't cut that PEX pipe, because that would change our mooring pretty good.
Yes, it would.
It's hitting something. That's not comforting. Oh, it's hitting the back of the other sheetrock. So that, in theory, we'll plug this into this one. Let's just see. Plug that into the wall behind you. Ugh. Oh, haha, better. There's good, bad, and best. And then the other cool thing about this, hey, we have no lights in here now. We're gonna change this over here so that our lights are close. Oh, that didn't make it that much closer, did it? We'll go back to having lights. The hope that I string that up, like maybe over to here. That's not pretty. What do you think? Something like that? Ugh. Gonna have to set it like that. That cord is obnoxiously in the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, that's not quite long enough.
Is there another plug behind the washer?
How else does it get power? Okay, smarty pants. I don't know, you guys, what do you think? Airflow's king, or we don't know what we're doing for sure. The other strategy here is right now we have power, and that's awesome. That's what we want, right? But when the power dies, our thinking is we get a nice hot fire going and we open up these doors and air comes. We're sucking all the hot air that we can down into the pipes. You're like, well, how's that going to work if you don't have power? Well, we have these. They're little battery boosters for our cars to jump start them, four-wheelers, side-by-sides, whatever. They have USB outs. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to come over here. We're going to be able to unplug this, throw this on this. That fan's back in business. Can you see it spinning up there? No. That's in that was from the battery backup. This is from our normal power. And hey, if you ever come up and visit us, there will be tons of place to charge your phone. So power goes out. Michelle and I are watching the temperatures. We come in here. We've got a handful of these. We're going to plug these in like this. We're back in business. Now, there are more expensive ways to do this, but this was the cheapest way we could think of and the fastest way we could think of. And then you'd say, well, what about your utility room? Because you can't have a fire out there. We've got a little mini buddy heater somewhere in this cabin. It's about this big. It's got a propane tank. I'm just going to screw it on, put the propane tank out there. If I need more heat in here, I've got a little buddy in there, you know, so I can spread out my heat sources. And then if none of that works, we just turn on the air compressor, drain the pipes, drive to Heber City, get a hotel room. Or we're visiting you, Jeff.
So we have our fans up now, zip tied up some of our cords, and hopefully these fans work to help make it so our pipes don't freeze. Where did Roscoe go? Hey!
What's up?
Where did you go?
Well,
Thought we were working on fans.
I'm your fan.
You are.
This isn't done. And I realized the storm's coming, and we picked up these pallets yesterday, so I thought it'd be really good if I could just hurry and finish so we have enough wood.
So are we done with fans?
I don't know, what do you think? Good enough? Close enough? No, probably not, but we'll show you more later, I guess. Right now I'm gonna finish this part of the wood shed. What time is it? We gotta leave here in about an hour and a half. I just heard back from the neighbor, said we could borrow their log splitter, so I'd like to get this done. Grab the log splitter maybe tomorrow if I don't golf, and then, yeah, no, we're not done with fans, but welcome to our projects. We started with the snowblower.
No, we started with fans.
Oh yeah, and I saw the snowblower, realized the storm. Look how bad the storm looks.
And then went to putting the plow onto the four-wheeler.
And fixing the wheels.
Yep. And then to the fans, and now we're back to the woodshed.
Today was definitely another adventure, wasn't it? So the storm looks like it's still coming, but it's not going to materialize as big as it was said it would. It's my birthday, so we're trying to get back out of town. Another day that we thought we'd get more done. We tend to overestimate what we can do in a day and probably underestimate what we could really get done in a year. So remember,
You got this.